We've got an awesome lineup. It's our first episode of 2021, and we are going to focus on one question, as you know. What does the modern media plan look like in 2021? Next, we welcome Rupen Desai, Global CMO at Dole, a company that believes everyone should have equal access to nutrition and health delivered in a positive and sustainable way. And he joins us from Singapore, I might add. He also co-founded TC28 to help organizations thrive in the conscience economy, and is a board member at Female Founders, dedicated to gender equality in entrepreneurship and leadership. Welcome, Rupen.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for having me, Gary.
Rupen, is it past midnight?
It is.
I'm very impressed with you, sir.
No, but a lot of my life is spent with teams in LA. So this allows me the morning as they've been waking up. So I've been in calls from 6 a.m. LA time, unfortunately for the teams in LA.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a global world, and even more so now. Actually, Rupen, before we get into the core question, I assume that the Zoomification of our society through COVID has been a real blessing for you, given the separation as people become more comfortable to this. You know, I'll give you an example. If you emailed me 24 months ago and said, Gary, I want to work with VaynerMedia, my brain goes to, this is a real opportunity. I need to get my ass to Singapore. That is a 4-day mission, 3-day mission, even the extreme way I travel. The fact that the business etiquette now allows for me and you to have that meeting like this for 2 hours is really quite powerful, no?
It is. I mean, my girls haven't seen as much of me as they have in the last 9 months. Okay, right. I remember my last flight being early March.
Yes, same.
Obviously, on a given day, they love it. On a given day, I'm sure members of the family don't as much.
Yep.
And I'm sure it's both ways. I think it's been a learning process for a lot of us as well, because we all come from the school of thought that physical presence, physical meetings absolutely matter, and we got to make the trudge and we got to do the flight. And while all of that is true, I think the last 9 or 10 months have shown us it's not probably as true as we would have all liked to believe.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's exactly right. Let's get to the core question. What is your take on the modern 2021 media plan? What does it look like? How do companies need to adjust, and where should they be shifting their monies or doubling down? Which platforms, which genres speak to you or the consumers you're trying to reach?
So I think we need to start from the fact that the currencies that we're chasing with our consumers have changed considerably over the years. I mean, we're talking about earning attention and earning trust with our consumers. And we sometimes forget that the key part of that is the earning part. So most platforms have got better at interrupting. I mean, we can interrupt better, we can interrupt faster, we can interrupt personalized, we can interrupt whichever area you were into, and that's got better and better. And while I don't underestimate the importance of interrupting, there's a huge part of earning the attention, earning the trust. I mean, the way I try and define it is dropping into a dinner that you're having on a Friday night, uninvited. Okay. And the moment I start talking about how I clean whiter than the whitest, how my molecule's bigger than your molecule on a Friday night in your house, it's going to be a very short conversation. So unless I'm purposeful, unless I'm interesting, unless I have something to offer of value, unless I have a joke to crack, unless I make you laugh, and there's no way I'm getting invited again, or you're ordering a second bottle of wine.
That's right.
So I think
let's talk about that. Do you then believe that the creative is a more important variable than the media plan?
It's a tango, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a tango. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a dance, and it's a dance that actually takes a cue from the other and evolves along the process.
Rupen, actually, I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you believe that the biggest hole in marketing today is that the creative industry has struggled to make contextual creative to all these distribution channels?
I think we have got so excited by the potential of data. by the potential of personalization, by the potential that we have forgotten that the art is still in the conversation, the art is still in the earning attention, the art. So while all of those vehicles are extremely important, and the modern media plan is, it's a cacophony that needs to be orchestrated into some form of semblance of music. I think the starting point will have to be, how do I stop interrupting? And if I can't, how do I at least make it worthwhile for you as I interrupt your life? And we do this. You see, the weird part, Gary, about this is we're all in meetings and we're all having this conversation. It's wonderful. And we step out to check our own Facebook and we're behaving exactly the opposite.
I'm going to go through this screen right now and kiss your beautiful head. You understand that, Rupen?
Oh,
this is no, but listen, this is my existence. This is why VaynerMedia exists. I mean, I just don't understand how people spend all their money on things that they know is not true, or do not hold the creative contextual to the platform. They just know that consumers don't respond to it, but there is so much incredible comfort in doing things in the past, or to conform to a reporting mechanism internally. You got it. The reporting that justifies the behavior that advances one's career. And I'm empathetic to that. You're trying to pay a mortgage, you're taking care of your family. So if the internal MMM is based on GRPs or impression, like, I understand, but it is a very intriguing moment in marketing because of that.
Yeah, we're agreeing. We're agreeing. And I think the other big challenge for marketing, and I'm going to completely sidetrack from the question,
do your thing.
Is the impact brands can have on people, communities, societies beyond just the profit bit. Okay, and the three P's have always had a fight with each other, particularly over the last few decades: people, prosperity, and the planet. I mean, one usually comes at the cost of the other. But I think, if nothing else, COVID needs to teach us that one thing, that the three need to live. They're so interdependent. They can't come at the cost of each other. We have to find business models in marketing, in business, in how we communicate, but at a larger society where planet and communities, planet and people are interdependent with prosperity and thrive together.
I think that's exactly right. I think that people make up excuses in business. There used to be a time when we used child labor, and the excuses were, well, how are we going to be able to get this done if we take all the children out of the workforce? We figured it out. This notion that we can't do good both sides of the equation is a silly, lazy answer, my friend.
And look, I look into the eyes of, I have two young girls, 7 and 4, and I know that everything I am potentially doing is going to leave behind a worse of planet and a worse of world to them.
Correct.
So if there's nothing else I do in life as a dad, I need to use whatever I do at work, obviously, to make sure their education gets paid off if they do want to learn some stuff. But the amount of influence we have as brands and all the people on this, the amount of influence we have has to make a difference beyond next quarter's ROMI, which is still stuck somewhere in the 1960s of calculating.
100%. My friend, this was quite enjoyable. I'll be in Singapore soon, and we're going to have dinner because you excited me here today. Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Andrea, for having us.
Thank you, Rupen.